Okay, this is a reading for Gemini females in the coupled relationship. So I do an anchor spread, kind of something I made up on my own here for those that are anchored in relationships. So it could be anything from a marriage to, you know, exclusive dating. I'm going to start. Again, I use romance tarot cards and sex tarot cards, and we get into that whole area. Try and exclude every other area here and just focus on the love side of things. So this is, again, for the Gemini female in a coupled relationship. So the first card I get is the Eight of Cains. Now, normally the Eight of Cains is, you know, the sense I get from this card is usually somebody is unhappy. I mean, the male's here kind of laying like he's not quite happy. And the woman is quite satisfied. So there's an imbalance in the relationship in some way. And also we have to take note of the tie that's around that person's wrist. Now it's loosely there, and it almost looks like there's another side that should be hooked to someone, but it's not hooked, right? So an indication of something in the air. And as we move on, the next card I get in the sex side is the Stars. So the Stars is, it can be taken one of a few ways. The Stars really do highly accentuate a good side of things, having hope for the future. And also there's a situation where maybe somebody feels like they're idolized to a degree that may be an imbalance within the relationship. Okay, now the next card I get is the Page of Coins. When I look at the Page of Coins in this romance deck, I think of lightheartedness. And I mean, this guy's simply alone and enjoying it, and he's got his money there and he's happy and he's playing his flute. Now, another indication too, like, because we're talking about a coupled relationship, this guy is happy being alone. So maybe within the relationship, there's a sense of individualization where this person really just depends on themselves. And they kind of make that known, you know. It's like, I'll deal with my stuff, you deal with your stuff, and that's the way it goes. So I do, because he's a pentacle, I assign, right, to him the morality that he lets his partner know this. But I don't feel... I feel like it's more of a financial independence within the relationship, actually, than something that his partner's not let in on. I feel like the Page can really have the ability to be vocal about everything, and then it's up to the partner to decide whether or not, you know, okay, this is the way it's going to go or not. So there is a certain sense here that we have a partner that has a lightheartedness or an immaturity about it. Now, to accentuate that card, I get the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so, yeah, from the sex deck. So we have the Page of Pentacles moving into the Knight of Pentacles. So we have a mature process here, right? Because the Page is that immaturity and being somewhat selfish. And then the Knight is learning to offer outwards, right? He's learning to go and make other people a priority rather than just money. So I'm getting a sense there that we have a growing of the partner doing this. Either you are growing in that way to work into that, but I'm sensing it's more your partner. Your physical partner is learning to grow in that way. The next card I get is the Ten of Canes. Is about putting your best foot forward, you know. So I feel like maybe there's a maturing process here that the partner has to go through, and that there's a concerted effort to do that. Then the next card I get is the Ten of Swords. Basically, the Ten of Swords is about having to deal with a collapsed relationship, a relationship that has ended, or heartbreak within that, right? And what else can do that besides a busting up of the relationship? It seems kind of odd in this placement for the Gemini female that there's some kind of a karmic tie here. There's an immaturity of someone trying to grow up in the relationship, so your partner. And then there's a sense of an effort being put in, but nonetheless, there's heartbreak here somewhere. Whether it's you or your partner, there's a decision that's made to break the relationship. Now, as we move on, we have 16, the Tower. And the Tower is about that sudden change, sudden catastrophe, right? And if we're talking about relationship things here, it could be the absolute collapse of it. And I'm not getting a sense as to where, whether it's the Gemini female that's in the lead here, or if it's her partner that's breaking things. But I'm feeling a sense from the, I'm just going to continue on. So the sex card I get off the Tower is the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is about really feeling the deep feelings and having the sex to match that. So the physical side coming in there to make it all worthwhile. Now, we could have had an indulging in that from one or the other of the partnership that led to a dramatic situation. So somebody could have stepped out, although I don't have any indicators of stepping out per se. It doesn't make sense that you would break up a relationship that you have deep loving feelings for. So I'll move on. The next card I get is the Seven of Cains. Now, the Seven of Cains is about coming together and being happy, you know, like almost like, you know, your partner went away on vacation and they come back and you're excited to see them and happy to be reunited, right? A reuniting of something. Now, I'm assuming it's the partner. We'll continue. The sex card I get off of that is the Knight of Cups. So that is an offer outside here. I feel like the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles is definitely your partner trying to solidify, trying to grow into what needs to happen here. Now, I get a Knight of Cups is someone outside. It's always an offer from the outside coming into this person. It's always, so it's going to be an offer from the Gemini female outside of the relationship. So a reuniting. So it may be someone from the past that is coming back to engage in some loving, warm feelings, okay? And that could be on any kind of sliding scale here. So we'll continue on now. The Seven of Swords is about betrayal. So again, something happened here that we had a betrayal. Somebody's left out. The next card I get on the sex side of things is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, right? She has the knowledge. She has the intuition. And I feel like there's a betrayal here. And there's also some intuition that kicked in. But we may not have acted from it. I think the Gemini female may have known this in her senses, her sixth sense. She may have had a suspicion of something, but up until now has maybe never gotten the validation, or is just now starting to see the results of that, are starting to see validation of that in that way, right? Because I'm getting a sense, like, obviously, if we have the Ten of Wands, it is over. And it's almost like maybe there was a denial down the road a bit. You said, oh, you know, you had a suspicion about somebody, and whether you argued about it or not, you had a suspicion. And I feel like, though it was denied on the part of the partner, I feel like there's something where you were proved right. You were like, yeah, I knew it all along, but I didn't act from it. I just held it back, but now it's kind of exploded into something. Either maybe you found out more information from someone else that validated, or something outside of the relationship gave you a clue. Okay, not good. Now, as we continue, I get the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, he's that guy, he's been through battle. Now, That's your sign, right? That's your air sign. So I feel like that is describing you somewhat, but also can be, no, I think it is you. I think it's you. And you've kind of broken the tip off your sword here, but you're not done fighting. You know, it's almost like you've taken a hit in your ego, maybe. Maybe you were loftier in the relationship. You felt more secure in the relationship. Even though you had these instincts coming at you all along, you just brushed it off. And now are realizing that no, that was all true. But you never did anything in the past, and maybe wishing you should have, could have done something in the past, would have been better. Maybe not better, it is what it is, right? So to clarify, on top of that King of Swords, we get the Temperance card. So we're having to watch our temper here. We may get out of control once we find out this stuff. We're going to get a little bit agitated, irritated. Like, okay, that's enough. I've had it. And I'm getting an energy of kind of retaliating, right? Retaliating because at the time when you had the instincts, you may have discussed it and it may have flown over. But now it's like, oh, I should have pushed it. I should have, you know, I was right all along, and I should have, you know, gone to the second level here and snooped a little more and maybe found out more information, more validation. But nonetheless, watch your temper. I feel like this is something that is going to happen nonetheless. You're going to kind of blow up and have a situation where you're going to show your frustration about all of this and have your say. Okay, so the next card I get is the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is really about, this card is kind of like, you know, and I'm getting a secretive sense to this. So it may be your partner actually, I don't like giving this information, but maybe your partner actually kind of on the sly starting to warm up, because you have a breakup here. And I get a sense here that this person wants to see this because you've broken. So now it's legal to go in the direction. But because you brought it up to them in the past, like I suspect this, and then you let it go, the person is resisting going in that direction, though they're going to go there. And it's going to be found out. They don't want it to be found out so soon. They don't want to be guilty of that. But nonetheless, it's happening behind their back, right? Now, the thing that is interesting is the next card we get is the Death card. So here's the scenario that could be happening. Now, that either amps up the situation where we have some heartbreak here, where we think our partner has been cheating for a while, and suddenly we just say, that's it, that's enough. And we, you know, the situation parts itself. I'm going to say that in that way because I'm not quite sure here who's at fault. You know what I mean? And so when we break, this person continues to see that person. And what ends up happening is, because of the official break, now we have to go incognito. We have to go undercover and see each other, because it's not right if I go and see you outright. It's disrespectful, but they don't understand it is disrespectful anyway. Now, the Death card happens. Now, another scenario is, because of the break and because of the heartbreak, it really transitions one of the partners, and I'm feeling more of this for the Gemini female, to be able to say, yeah, that's it. It's time to move on. You know, I feel it's a logic clean cut, and I feel like that's the King of Swords. He's just not going to piss around no more. He knows he doesn't want this. He's going, he's moving. He's not letting anything get in the way of moving in a clear future, is really what I'm getting. So that's the 13, right? So there's two ending cards here. So it's over. It's done. It's finished. Not only an emotional level where we still have feelings about it and we may be upset about it, but I feel like it's almost in a vengeance kind of way, which is not good, but it's still there. And also it is done. It won't come back kind of feeling. We got two of them. That's it. It's done. Now the last card, the last romance card we get is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is that immature emotional situation. So we may have whoever stepped out of this relationship, and I'm seriously thinking it's the Gemini's partner. Whoever stepped out, right? They're very much on an emotional level, very immature emotionally. So this is why they did that. They just don't understand from a mature standpoint what it is to be of a mature relationship. Don't understand it. So they don't act from it. And then they got to go through that process. Now, on the sexual side of things, we have the Knave of Swords. The Knave of Swords could indicate that your partner is just truly physically attracted to someone else, anyone else. I get the feeling of a wandering eye. And though they may not have been dipping into that pool all the time, there's something here that got them into trouble. So there's some kind of situation that they indulged in too far. Where that line is, I think it's different for everybody. I think there may be people that had a disloyalty, and there may be people that actually cheated. But nonetheless, there's something here that there's an immaturity level. It's not matching with, you know, the Empress. We have a high standard here with the Empress, and the Queen, meaning the Gemini female, is finally stepping into her own and realizing some things about the relationship that she's in. So another set here where we have not a great situation. The couple is it seems like it's splitting. Their karmic tie is done, is the feeling I get. And it may be hard to go through, but not as hard as it would be to stay in it, is the sense I'm getting. So nonetheless, there's some kind of a disruption and a shocking event that happens throughout this process, illuminating the actual problem, right? And that really is hitting on the fact that the Gemini knew this, but never spoke of it. Never, you know, may have mentioned it to the partner, but I feel it was lightly so, to the degree that I'm not going to make an issue out of it, because they in turn didn't want to believe that in their own right. So they just put it aside. You know, sometimes you don't want to believe that your partner's not being loyal to you. So you yourself go, yeah, okay. You give them any excuse that they come with, you accommodate, because you really don't want to deal with the truth. And that's what I feel like has kind of happened in this last bout here. So whatever happened there, the energies, right, over the new year, even before the new year, we're cleaning out the garbage. And by garbage, I mean, I don't mean the person is garbage. I mean the imbalances within relationships. If you're meant to be in a relationship, it's going to be strong and sturdy through this time. If you're not, it is going to bust apart. And the universe is going to throw everything at you in order for you to do it. So you really have to stand into that and get used to that. Because I feel like this may have been a long-term relationship that has happened here, and it kind of a shock that, you know, what's going on. So to a degree, they have to deal with that situation, and I feel like it's more, I wouldn't say public, but in a way where they cannot deny anymore. They cannot let it go by, because people's friends are annoying, and you know, it's something that you can't sweep under the rug at this point. So we have to make a decision and move forward. So really kind of a interesting scenario, and nonetheless somebody coming out of left field here and wanting to offer love and companionship. Now that could be as simple as a friend coming to help you through this situation and going, are you okay? Da, da, da. A water sign, somebody compassionate, understanding to help you through this time. That could very well be that. Could be a friendship, but nonetheless somebody coming outside to offer. And the friend that's coming is someone, it seems like, either from your past or someone you're reunited with or someone you're excited to see. That kind of thing is going to help you through it and make things a little easier, but nonetheless more final. I think honestly, without this person around, you'll be in a position where you might not look at things in a sane manner. You know, like this person kind of keeps you in line and says, no, you don't put up with that, da, da, da. Not that they don't see it, but you don't want to see it. Don't want to see there, don't want to go there. You don't want to, you know, have to deal with betrayal and stuff. So how deeply that goes, I guess, depends on what Gemini you are, where you are in your chart and all of that, and what your ascendants are. But nonetheless, seems to be another break here. Not good. But nonetheless, you need to go in a clear direction. And I feel like you've gained all you can gain from this relationship. It's time to move to something more balanced. There was an imbalance here, and now the universe is going to send you something that's more balanced, more to what you need instead of what you had that was overdue for a change. So switching of energies for sure, transition over February. Bad time this year. But hopefully that changes later in the signs here, because it's kind of bad news. But nonetheless, something they have to deal with and move forward. That tower is really universally charged, right? So we have to keep that in mind. It's really, we need to go forward. We need to go in a new direction. And even though there's lots of betrayal here, watch our tempers when dealing outward with other people, because that creates karma as well. So we just want to deal on the level. We don't want to go out and doing anything vindictive in that way, because then that creates worse things for you. So hopefully that helps you over the Valentine's month. Again, not good news, but I think this is all energy that is going to be sitting really heavy with the Gemini female. And I feel like she may not want this to happen, but I think we'll be happy as time goes on that it did. So, and that'll take time to work into that feeling of, yeah, I made the right decision, you know, because there's always that doubt. But nonetheless, so for the Gemini female coupled relationship people, that's your reading for February 2018. Take care, have fun, and be kind.